Good evening, friends. Welcome to your Thursday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. So thank you so much for being patient with me over the last week and a half. I've definitely had a run for my money. I was not expecting to be down for so long. They did warn me, but I was like, oh no, it's fine. I'll be up the next day. Yeah, that didn't happen so much. So thank you so much for being patient on my Tuesday live. I just couldn't get myself up to do it, but I'm feeling a little bit better. Each day gets a smidgen better, so that's all I can ask for. But I'm super excited that I can finally be here with you guys. Today's project is using something out of the new holiday catalog, and it's even though I'm using it for Halloween, it doesn't have to just be for Halloween. So you can use it for any holiday. You can use it for the Halloween. You can use it for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter. What's after Easter? Memorial Day, 4th of July. So literally all holidays this can be used for. You just have to change up your designer series paper a little bit and voila, you have an amazing little gift. So I am going to be doing it from start to finish. I didn't pre-cut or pre-stamp anything, so it might take us a little bit longer. So I am going to jump right in and get started. So let me point you over. I have to plug everything in. I took everything out like I usually do, and then I forget to plug it all back in. But we will get there. Sorry, hold on. Almost there. There we go. Now I can point you over. Okay, I'm just going to make sure we are live on Facebook, which we should be. And yep, there we go. So I'll be able to read some comments. So this is the set I'm going to be using. It's called Trick or Treats. And in the catalog, I can't show you the inside of the catalog, but this is what it looks like on the outside. If you haven't gotten yours, definitely let me know and I will get one in the mail. But in the catalog on page I had it and then I closed it. On page 50, it is the Trick and Treats bundle. So that is the same name. Sometimes they change up the names a little bit. So that is the name of this bundle. When you get the dies do come on two different sheets, but I combined them and it was a really tight squeeze to get all of these on just one sheet. I like to be able, when I have these on my shelf, I like to be able to flip through them and see what the images are so I know if that would work for whatever I'm using. So that's why I like having them on one sheet. But we are going to be using this die. We're going to be using this one, that one, and the little ghost, and this one. So you do have the words that are boo. This is a candy corn, and you layer the candy corn. I use these for the bingo bags. You guys are definitely going to love them. But that's how the little candy corn goes. Here are two sizes of little holders that you can put in little treat boxes. You have two different sizes. I originally used this one, not realizing that the holes were really big. So I'm going to switch to the smaller one on the card or the bag we're going to be making. This little guy, you can use this as a border. So you can cut on cardstock or designer series paper to give it the jagged edge. Or they do show in the catalog that they used it to cut the box to make it shorter. So you have the scallops. Actually, I think it'll go this way. So you have the scallops, so you can make this as tall or as short as you want. So there's that piece. You have this guy that is going to be on the Trick or Treats. You have two tags, and that can be for the eek or the little ghost that sits on it, or even the little bat. So you have two of those, and I like how they give you two. So if you need more than one on a card, you can run this at the same time and save a little bit of time. Okay, so that's the dies, and I pulled everything out that we're going to be using. And this is the stamp set that I'm going to be using as well. Let me get that out of the way. We are going to use the little, I want to say jack-o'-lantern, but he's not a jack-o'-lantern. I lost what he is. But we're using this little guy. the house, the stars, and the eek. You can definitely use the ghost for this kind of idea as well, but I chose the stars and the eek. So let's get going. I am going to do all of my stamping first. So I'm working a little bit backwards. I'm going to do all my stamping first, and then I'm going to go in and die cut it because we have to die cut this whole thing. I should probably show you guys the project. So here is the project that we're going to be doing. So it is a cute little Halloween bag. So as you can see, my holes were a little bit bigger. I didn't realize that they were going to be so big. So I did put my little knot on the inside. Once you get your candy or your tissue paper in there, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to try the smaller ones this time. But I did stars on one side, and then I did the eek on the other side. So that's what we're going to be making. So I have two pieces of Gorgeous Grape, and they both measure 5.5 by 8.5. And I did not score them because we need 2 sheets to make this bag. And then I just have 3 pieces of scratch paper, and this is our basic white. These happen to be 3 by 3 squares. You really don't have to measure out the squares. You can really use whatever scraps that will fit the stamp size. Okay, so I'm going to first grab my mementos, and I'm going to grab the haunted house. I'm going to ink this up, but I want to show you a little trick. So when I set this on here, I'm going to put it right in the center. It is going to pick up my paper as well. I'm going to flip this over and I just messed that up. Let's do that again. So stamp it, it's gonna, and it didn't pick it up, but it stamped perfectly, so I can't complain. The first couple times I stamped it, it like didn't get all of it perfectly. So what I was trying to do is when you flip it over, if you just rub the back side of it, it will get more of the ink on there. That's what I was trying to do, but it wasn't working for me, but it actually stamped perfect. Okay, before I cut it, I'm going to bring in some of my blender pens because I just want to color a smidgen of this. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this on top of another piece just so it doesn't bleed through. I have my dark Daffodil Delight, and I want the windows to be yellow. So I'm just going to come in and color these windows. Just a smidgen of color. Kind of like that song, just a little bit of sugar makes the medicine go down. A teaspoon of sugar makes medicine go down. So a little bit of color will make this pop even more. And I think I might need to invest in all new blender pens because these guys are, I think I've seen a little bit better days. I'm barely touching it and it's not working like it's supposed to, so I have to go a little bit harder. So there's the yellow. And then I'm going to come in with light fresh freesia. And I'm just going to come in and go around the door. I'm going to do this little window over here. And I want to do this piece up at the top. There we go. And I went ahead and came in and did the center, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Did I go up? I think I did go up here. I'm looking at my sample because I can't remember what I did. There you go. So that one is done. We can set that aside. And then we're going to do the Frankenstein. He's not a Frankenstein. I'll think of what he is. Dracula. I don't know why that was so difficult. Now we'll do the Dracula. So I have my light fresh freesia. And I'm going to come in, ink this up, stamp this right in the center. Perfect. And I'm going to come in with my gorgeous grate, and I'm going to do his face and his little widow's peak. So I'm going to stand on my tippy toes. Hopefully my hair doesn't get in the camera, just to make sure I'm getting that all the way up at the top. Perfect. And then his face. There we go. And I think that is all we are going to be needing these inks for. I have one more color we're going to do. So let me bring in my embossing machine. And I'm going to bring in my plates. I have two different plates. I keep plates for when I use basic white paper, and then I have plates when I use colored cardstock. So I am bringing in first my basic white plates. So I'm going to line these up. We should be able to run all of our whites together. I'm just going to grab a piece of tape just to hold these guys down. So that looks pretty good there. Put the house on. That looks good. And then I did two of the ghosts, so we'll have to run that another one separately. So I'm going to crank this through. There we go. Set those aside, and I just want to run one more ghost really quick, but I have to pop this one out. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. There's one. Let me pop these eyeballs out, and then I'll run this one. And then we just have to do the little bag. And the bag is so easy. I know when I did a box a couple weeks ago, somebody posted a comment that boxes are fun until they try to put them together. And you don't have to worry about that with this because everything's done for you. All you have to do is die cut it, crease it, and bam, you're done. So can you tell which ones are my dark? These are definitely my dark plates, my dark paper plates. So I am going to do these separately. I think the score marks should show up a little bit nicer. So you just have to run it through once. And then you do have a nice piece left over, so you can save that for something else. And then I'm just going to run this through again. Now, before I get rid of my machine, I'm going to show you how to put the little holes in it so they are on the same side. So they are even on both sides. Okay, so now I'm going to put these together. So I have the little tab marks on both sides. So I'm going to lay those together, and I'm just going to line everything up perfectly. I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to grab my die, and I'm just going to put it kind of up towards the top in the center. I'm just centering it. Put your plate on. And this one you can run both. At least it worked for me when I did it the first time. We'll see if it works again. Okay, so we are done with the embossing machine. Now we just have to put all of this fun stuff together. And yeah, it works. So now once your box is together, your little holes are going to be on the same size. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of stamping before we start gluing everything together. So I'm going to bring in my gorgeous grate, and you don't have to do the opposite sides. You can do it all stars, you can do it all the eek, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I think the stars would be super cute for the 4th of July. So I'm just going to ink up all of this. There we go. And you know what? I think I'm just going to do all the stars. Both side stars. So this is probably the most time-consuming part of this card, or this box. Here we go. So now we can start putting this together. I am going to go ahead and fold on all the score marks that the die created for you. And you have 3 on each of these. There we go. Now, there we go. I'm going to grab some tear tape. When you are working with boxes or bags, you do want to use a super heavy adhesive. So I always recommend tear tape. So I'm putting tear tape on one of the edges, and I'm just going to come in and line this up and press it down. So now I'm going to come over here and put another piece of tear tape along here. Take this off, and I'll show you something really magical. So if we lay this down and we cover this, it is going to lay completely flat. You really don't even have to line it up. You just flip it over and it is secure. So now what you can do is now flip it the other way. Now you have your little box. Now we just need to glue this down. Let's put these inside. Piece of tear tape along the bottom. I think these would be good for like teacher gifts. You could also make these for your nail tech, or if you're a hairstylist, you could make these for Halloween for your customers that come in. So cute. Okay, so one last thing I want to do with the house before we glue it down is I want to take some crushed curry and my sponge dauber, and I just want to go around the house just to kind of make it pop a little bit more. Even though we colored the inside, I just wanted it to pop just a smidgen more. There we go. Let's grab our dimensionals. Let's flip the ghost and the house over. And you can definitely use the black dimensionals if you want to. I don't have any over here, otherwise I probably would have, at least for the house. So we're going to do a ghost there, a ghost there, and then the house in the center. And then we can flip it over, add some dimensionals to the whatever he is. I had it earlier and now it's gone. He's going to go in the center. And then if any of you guys have been on the clearance rack, they have the gorgeous grape ribbon on the clearance rack, and it is magical. They had it in the catalog a couple years ago, and they must have had some overstock of it. So I definitely stocked up on this. So I probably have, I don't know, maybe 24 inches, so 12 inches for each side. I'm kind of just guessing. And then I'm just going to feed this through. Try to anyway. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's grab the tool. We're not going to mess with this. There we go. I'm going to tie a knot in the bottom. And then we can put this one in. Okay, this is probably the most time consuming, is getting this in. If you have one of those needle threaders, that would definitely work too. Okay, got it. Okay, so there's that side. Let's do the other side, and then we are done. Super fun, super quick. And that's what I like. Okay, there we go. So here, these straps are a little bit longer, which is totally fine. You can make them as short or as long as you want. But here are the cute little bags. And could you see all the different holidays made in these bags? Oh, I think they're so stinking cute. Okay, that is your live for tonight. It actually didn't take me as long as I was anticipating. But anyway, hopefully you guys are having a great day. Thank you for joining me. I will be back Tuesday for another live. So if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.